fibroids, when they first begin to grow, and of course, if everybody don't know, they are non-cancerous tumors.
Yes.
That grow in your uterus. It was great.
Okay.
But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just take us back into a little bit though.
Okay, take it back.
Even in my decision to not protect, not to use protection at night,
mm-hmm.
other than knowing our status,
mm-hmm.
I also had in the back of my mind,
like, I'm not getting pregnant,
of my chances of getting pregnant, because my uterus is embolized.
Right.
So
it ain't happening.
Waka flocka. So we did what we did,
mm-hmm.
And I would never forget that entire between February, like the end of February, to March the 15th, March the 8th.
Well, I predicted all this, though. So that's why you even act like I didn't predict all this. I consider myself a prophet, and I had predicted all of this. We had a conversation about it. I told her I had a dream about it, and then boom, she was pregnant. But I don't know if you remember, but do you remember when we went to go see Jay Nova and that adventurous night we had?
Hey, I'm out again. This time I got a new cat.
Yes.
Do you remember you actually said to me, I think I'm pregnant?
Did I? What date was that?
Did. It was either March 1st or the last day in February. It was that whatever that weekend was. It was like right around there.
So my period has, even after being after the embolization, my period was still kind of irregular though.
Mm-hmm.
It still came on when it wanted to.
Right.
My period did not come on in March at all. So at work, and now it's hard. Now this is kind of weird because anybody at work in my job knows that in lunch break I take naps. I'm a napper. I'm such a napper that
mm-hmm.
I don't even have to be tired. I can.
Whatever, I'm going to bed. I'll see y'all in 20 minutes. Bye bye.
I tell you, if I say, Tahira, you're going to sleep at 12 o'clock, I will close my eyes and start snoring.
At 12 o'clock? Not even tired.
I'm not even tired. I can legit run a marathon right now. But if I close my eyes, I'm out. So, but I knew something was off though, because at work, when I was taking my normal naps,
nap time,
I will wake up feeling, that sick feeling? Like that, not nauseous, but you ever had that feeling?
Like before we catch a cold, or like if you have like nasal congestion and like that type of.
Yes, like that.
Okay.
It was like that feeling of, or have you ever taken like a nighttime type of medicine? And have you ever waken up?
I don't want to talk about my drug. This is not drug habit time. This is not the time to talk about drug habits.
Where do we just go?
All right, guys, that ends our conversation with.
Anyway.
Okay, move forward.
Feeling is the feeling. It's the feeling of if you take like a Benadryl or a NyQuil and you just happen to wake up in the middle of it, you just feel like.
Mm-hmm.
That's
just
how
like
I was.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how I was feeling when I take my naps. I wake up like, okay, we're a couple more hours, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wake up like, ugh, like, what the hell? It was weird. It wasn't until I had to sing at an event for my brother friend Larry Daniels, and that whole day, I missed the part. So March the 2nd, my period came on.
Okay. Yes, I remember this conversation too. Go ahead.
My period came on for 3 days. The only difference was it was light. I'm talking about like light pink. It wasn't heavy.
It was pretty much non-existent.
I just kept like, what the heck is this? But I'm like, well, that's a period though. So what?
Right. It counts. It counts.
Ain't no pregnancy up in here. So it wasn't until the day of this concert that we had this. I had to sing. I believe the concert was like the 8th, I think. Now when I woke up that morning, I felt crampy again. So I'm like, why am I having cramps? My period just went off. So I'm like, all right, whatever.
That was the egg implants and honey.
That thing already implanted.
You're right.
At that point. You're
right.
So, and all I remember saying to myself was, I'm like, Tahira, make sure you pop a couple pills before you start singing, because I'm about to be in heels all night, and I don't want to be uncomfortable. I never popped a pill.
Ooh.
Right? Like the night just kind of rushed by, and I never popped a pill. Concert starts, we're singing. By towards the end of the concert, Julie, when I tell you, it felt like I was going to pass out of there. I just walked off. In the middle of the concert. Just walked off. My shoes still up there. So I ran to the bathroom. I had to throw up. Right? Go to use the bathroom, and I'm sorry if this is TMI. If I go use the bathroom, when I went to go clean myself, it was blood. Heavy. So I said, now what the heck?
Right, what's going on? What the heck is happening right now?
Like, is my period back? At that moment, the most severe cramps I have ever had in my whole life.
Like even okay. In your whole life. Got it.
I have never felt pain like this in my life until that very moment. I was sitting in that bathroom rocking and crying like, oh my goodness, what is wrong? At this point, the concert is over. I was able to kind of like get myself together, come outside, and I went upstairs like to the changing room, and I just was sitting there because I was in so much pain. Now, usually after an event, we got to eat.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go. So, if I don't want to go out to eat,
there's something wrong. Yeah, it's something wrong. Yeah,
something right.
Something ain't doing something. Yeah.
I told PJ was there. I said, yo, dog, I do not feel good. I said, I'm going home. So I ordered an Uber. When I was in the back of the Uber, every bump hurt so bad. So I just went home, like went to sleep. I was like, I hope I just feel better in the morning. So the next morning I actually did feel better. I'm sorry the story is long, but it's very important.
Right. It has value. I'm good. I'm listening.
Yes. I'm in Fresh Grocer, and I'm in a self-checkout line. And out of nowhere, I feel this random feeling to throw up again. What in the world? Like, I had to stop it. I almost threw up at Fresh Grocer. Maybe you should get a test. Dog, I'm not pregnant at all.
Right.
I said, but whatever.
Impossible.
I said, but whatever. I go get one. Child. Goes get this test, right? Takes the test.
Here we go. Da, da, da.
Takes the test, and actually forgets that I took it. It's like sitting on my sink in the bathroom. So I'm all doing my regular, house stuff, like doing the dishes, watching TV, on Instagram. I just having to go back to use that bathroom and say, oh, there's the test. Picks it up, pregnant.
Say what now? Wait, how? Huh? Read it again. Fix your glasses. Right.
My immediate reaction, I bust out in tears. My initial reaction for sure wasn't excitement at all.
Right.
Because at this point, I'm not even thinking about how. At this point, I'm not even thinking about how a baby. I'm not even thinking about how the doctor told me how I couldn't get pregnant. I'm not thinking about how I'm 36 and I'm pregnant. I'm not thinking about none of that. All I'm thinking about is how I am in a situation. I'm not in a relationship with the father.
That part.
I will be a single parent. It was just a lot. And at that time, I was a praise and worship leader at my church.
Yeah.
It was just a lot. After the initial shot, I took 4 more tests.
I can't believe it, Lord.
And they all said pregnant. And it was funny because each test that I took, the results was coming in faster.
Like, did you pregnant?
I'm talking about, you know how, not that you will know, but you know how if you take a pregnancy test and you kind of see, well, the older ones, because now you know the ones they digital or whatever, but the older ones you just kind of see the pee going through.
Yeah. I've taken a pregnancy test before, so I know how that works.
Yeah, you did. Hold up. Cheers. I clocked them. That's how they sound. Yeah, you did. But anyway, I took 4.
Okay.
The results were coming, and when I was talking about as soon as Louis dropped pregnant,
we see it.
I just said, Jesus, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant out this bitch. I'm pregnant. Let me say this. Once I took the 5 tests.
The 5th one. After the 5th one.
Once I took the 5 tests, at this point I'm nervous because remember when I was singing at the event, I bled really bad, and I was cramping really, really bad. I thought for sure that I miscarried at this point.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's what you. Yeah.
That or atopic, I didn't know, but all I knew was that amount of release and pain did not seem normal for a pregnancy. So when I had my first appointment, I never forget this either. I was laying on that table, and she was doing my ultrasound, and I never forget. She was, searching. She could not find my baby. She's searching, and so if the screen is over here, I'm looking this way.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to face that truth.
Because first of all, I don't even want to see that there's nothing there.
Right.
Because again, I have a horrible problem of convincing myself of things. That's so horrible.
We all do. I have the same thing.
It's bad. That is self-sabotage.
It really is. It's sad because it really is.
Yeah, I would have put my last chip that I miscarried that baby for sure, because that blood was So I'm looking this way because I can't even, just the thought of looking at my uterus and knowing that test said pregnant. But looking at that screen and seeing nothing there, I couldn't take.
Yeah. On
top of my other thoughts I was having already.
Right.
So I'm looking this way, and she's it felt like it may have been like 3 minutes, but it felt
forever. It felt like an hour.
It felt like 47,000 minutes. And so she just kept changing spots. Oh, there we go. Child, I looked over, honey, that little heartbeat.
Aww. Don't cry. Don't cry, friend.
Girl, that heartbeat flickering, that in that moment, I legit saw my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But that heartbeat, it just was like, it was such it just ignited something in me. Like I just saw my purpose. I was like, this is why I'm here.
Yeah. Yes.
Like that. And it was just like it was just like God just saying to me, like, see, every time you doubt me,
yeah,
this is me right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, look, and I just like, oh, look at, and people always say, look at God. No, seriously, look at God.
Right. Because here you are getting a diagnosis that you're not going to be able to have kids. You're not going to have a viable uterus so that a child could survive. And here you are with a whole human being, an entire human being.
My pregnancy was a doozy. It was fine. I never had to go to emergency room. I never had any spotting or anything like that. But the only thing about my pregnancy was that you guys remember that I still have fibroids in my uterus.
Mm-hmm.
That with my child.
Right.
Which means it was as if I was carrying twins. The one fibroid, and God is so good. I just always just have to give glory to Him. God is so good that even with my embolization, so now, and because of the embolization, they had me going to a high risk OBGYN because, blood isn't technically going to my uterus.
Right.
But God is so good that He designed our bodies that whatever my son needed, even with me trying to stop things.
Listen, where's the plate? Do we have a plate to pass around?
Even
collection plate we have. If y'all out there got a collection plate, please pass it around. My Cash App.
Yeah. Even with me making a conscious decision on my own to stop whatever plans was supposed to happen with my body. Everything that my son needed, he still got in my womb.
Because God has the final say.
The only hiccup during my pregnancy, because of that huge fibroid that was in my womb with my son the entire time, because of that fibroid, my baby wasn't able to turn. He wasn't able to switch position.
Right. To
where he could be here first. That fibroid was in the way. So I had to actually schedule a C-section. Not an emergency one. I had to actually schedule. So I knew when I was having my baby. Being a mom is just definitely, it fills so many voids. But you gotta depend on your village. You cannot do it by yourself. So what are your thoughts on motherhood for you?
But just before my thoughts on motherhood, it's funny because I know you shared your story, your medical story, but my medical story, so let me just go back. My mom actually suffered from fibroids. She actually had to have a hysterectomy. She didn't have a hysterectomy until like 2013, but she didn't have a hysterectomy. Yeah, but just in thinking about like your birth story with your son, I was a breech baby as well. I was a week late, and after being a week late, they induced my mom, broke the water, and I was still not coming. So they did a C-section, and they forced me out. So my rights were taken away on August 7th, 1986. But just thinking about your story and thinking about my mom having fibroids, I'm just wondering, like, did I not turn because of my mom's cyst? Like, what were they just in the way? Because I don't know details about my mom's fibroids. I actually didn't find out she had fibroids until she got her hysterectomy, and that's because, like, we as women, we don't sit down and talk about this. Like, I don't really know, and it's something that I talk to my mom and my aunts about. Like, when I go to the doctor now, we get those questions like, is there ovarian cancer in your history? Is there breast cancer? Are there cysts in your history? Like, I don't know. All I know is that my mom had them and she got them removed, but I don't know about my aunt. My mom has 4 sisters. I don't know their productive health history. And so I would love
so many people don't even know though.
Right. That's true. That is so true. So getting back to what you asked me about motherhood, I always bounce back and forth. I don't think I've accepted or I have come to the conclusion that, I'm never having kids. I do have to say that you have to catch me on the right day to hear me talk about when to have kids.
If you're in your feelings.
Right, because I definitely bounce back and forth. And I'm never having kids. And if it don't happen by 35, it ain't gonna happen. But then there are my days, I'm like, if I'm 50 and I have my first child, then let's let it happen. Let's go. So I have never, I think my fear is that I have never sat down and said, hey doc, what do I have? I've never done that. I have been tested for fibroids. They did find one small one that hasn't grown at all since when I went to get ultrasound. I got ultrasound, it was at least 2 years ago, and it hasn't grown since. So that's that. But I also, I'm grown, and I had participated with my ex-boyfriend. We were together for a pretty significant amount of time, and we were having unprotected sex. And out of the times that we were having unprotected sex, I was never pregnant. I was never, I never even thought about being pregnant. I never was like, oh, this could happen. Those things never really crossed my mind.
Right.
However, similar to your story, my periods are not regular. They've never been regular. I can't look at a calendar and say, on April 15th, my period will be on the 15th, and it comes on. Nope. That's never been my story. I have, even growing up, again, I didn't get my period till I was 15. So even within that, I have missed months. It has been it's been 2 days that I've had a period. I mean, it's been on for 2 days and then went off. When I have 5 days, that's, to me, it's what's going on? To me, that's a red flag. When I have my period for 5 days, I'm like, what's going on? Why am I having a 5-day period? I barely get cramps, that kind of thing. So, all of that to say, I have had moments in between periods where I have spotted. In between periods where it's been again, this might be a little bit TMI, but the blood is kind of mucousy and it's stringy. It's not really a solid clot. And I have talked to my gynecologist about that, because those are that's happened more recently than it has back when I was younger. It's happening more now.
Yeah.
But when I was having unprotected sex with my ex and those things were happening, and I did to my gynecologist, she had brought the idea of a chemical miscarriage, which means that the egg was fertilized, but it never was implanted because it never got a chance to get to that point. So those are the things now that I think about that I'm like, well, Dad, what if I can't have children? What if this is just always going to be an issue for me? And I'm always going to be I never know if I could ever get pregnant because I may have been pregnant and not even known it. You know what I mean? So,
girl, so what does that do to you mentally?
God, Tahira, thank you so much for sharing your birth story and talking about your fibroids, because it's something that women do not talk enough about. And I really want us to start the conversation about our pap smear health, our GYN health, going through things as a unit and not just thinking about I'm going through this by myself.
Yeah, it's definitely another epidemic. Fibroids in Black women is a big deal. And I'm not saying that, ladies, I'm not saying that you should have no cramps. I'm not saying that. But if you are experiencing like debilitating cramps, nausea, and that is a telltale sign that something is growing. All in all, I would like to end it by saying that regardless of your diagnosis,
Yes,
what God has for you is specifically for you. All right. Thank you, Julie, for having me.
well, thank you
We
for
have to do this
conversing with
again.
me. Yes, we
It's so
do.
much more to talk about. It's so much more tea. But thank you, ladies. We love you. Be safe out there.
Yes.
Good night.
Cheers to me. Cheers. Wait, cheers to me.
I'm almost done, girl. Look at it. Clack, clack.